So it started out as an okay looking game, in fact a great one, with the Sens having a tremendous first period and absolutely dominating the Jets. Ends up being a very unattractive looking score for the Sens at the end. And that final score was 5-1, as you all know. That first period for the Sens, though, was absolutely tremendous. Like I said, they owned the puck. They were in the Jets' end. It felt like that whole first period. The shots were 18-6 for Ottawa, and they played really good in this one. Matt Murray would get the start for the Ottawa Senators. Artyom Zub would not play just because of the fact that he had an inconclusive COVID test, so Josh Brown comes in for him, and that's the only lineup change. Josh Brown ends up out. Matt Murray remains the goaltender after he came in for relief for Hogberg last meeting against the Edmonton Oilers. And despite having a great first period, it only took 8 seconds into the second period for Paul Stastny to score and get the Jets up 1-0. Matt Murray misplays the puck behind the net. He tries to get back. Stastny shoots and scores. It's 1-0 Winnipeg. The Sens have a problem with giving up goals early in periods. I find they just don't seem ready. Josh Norris mentioned in the post game that sometimes the team doesn't seem as sharp early on in periods. I totally agree with him in that. Although their first periods have gotten better, they still seem to have a let up at some point in early part of a period, whether it be the second or the third these days. And then 7:53 into the second period, former Senator Dylan Demelo scores his first of the season against his old team. And not only his first of the season, but his first goal since March of 2019 when he was with Ottawa. He hadn't scored in almost 2 years, so Demelo gets his first finally. That was assisted by Kyle Connor. It's 2-0 Winnipeg, and things are starting to look like the same old for Ottawa as usual. And then the Sens take a penalty late in the second period. It was Eric Goodbranson with a cross-check on Nikolai Ehlers. That was a bit of a questionable call. I mean, I guess, yeah, you could call the cross-check because he does extend his arms on Ehlers, but I don't know. I thought Ehlers went down pretty easy. I know Goodbranson's a big man and Ehlers isn't a super big guy, but still, I thought, he could have stayed on his feet. Maybe the cross-check looked lighter to me on TV than, what it would have been had I actually been cross-checked. Maybe it would have been harder and I would have fell down too like Ehlers did. It's kind of tough to say, but for me anyways, I thought it was a bit of a weak call. But nonetheless, Winnipeg capitalized on that one. Blake Wheeler, after lots of sustained pressure by the Jets on that power play. The Sens were kind of running around a bit. They were playing aggressive on Winnipeg, but the Jets, they really know how to move that puck around, even with an aggressive penalty killing by the Ottawa Senators. Matt Murray lost his stick. And in the process of Matt Murray losing his stick, there was a play around the net where Zaitsev went by and he clipped them. So Murray looks a little bit shaken up. The Jets score. It's 3-0 Winnipeg. That second period ends and Murray's kind of hunched over going to the dressing room there. And he would eventually not come out for the third period. That's bad news because not only is he out for this game and Hogberg has to come in and play, but he could also be out for who knows how long now. After the game, DJ Smith said it was precautionary, so let's hope it's just that. But, not only for Matt Murray's well-being, but also for the well-being of the Ottawa Senators to have their number one goalie in net, who maybe wasn't quite as sharp tonight, but he's been pretty good for them the last 4 or 5 games that he's been in net. Hogberg comes in. Matthew Perreault scores on him shortly into the third period. He should have had that one, I thought. It was a good shot by Perreault, but look where he ends up after the goal. He's like on the side of the net almost. I mean, he's really got to work on his angling. He looks a lot different from the guy I saw finish the season last year when he looked a lot stronger in the nets for Ottawa. And then the goal-starved Senators would finally break through as Josh Norris would get his third of the season. It's about time for him to come in and score a goal, assisted by Christian Wolanin and Austin Watson. So it's 4-1 at this point, and no, the Jets just couldn't leave it at that. They had to make it 5-1. Neil Pionk with a pretty nice wraparound goal. I don't really know if I could fault Hogberg on that. Would I have liked to see him come over and cut that wraparound off? I mean, yeah, he's 6'5". You'd like to see him get a toe on it or something, get over quickly and use that long body to his advantage. But, I mean, that's just kind of not the way it works for the Sens these days, it seems like. And that's the way this one wraps up, 5-1. I mean, this team just can't have nice things, and they just don't get things to go their way. They got to score on some early chances. I think that'll really go a long way for them. And I know people will point out to last game against the Oilers where, yeah, they scored 26 seconds in and they ended up losing that game, finding a way to lose again like they always seem to do. But I think if they can get one early, especially after getting all these chances, you get some momentum, maybe score one 5 minutes in or so, then get another one, I don't know, 10 minutes into the period or 15 minutes into the period. Like, I don't know, go to the dressing room up 1 or 2-0. And I think that'll go a long way for this team. And then they got to learn how to defend the lead too, because these guys are playing catch-up hockey way too much. And I remember there was a quote by old Senators coach Paul McLean back in the 2013 playoffs in that series against Pittsburgh, and they asked him about his team falling behind early in games, and his quote was, and it holds so true, especially for the Senators of today, catch-up hockey is losing hockey, and that's why the Sens are losing a lot of games right now. And they got to get right back on the horse because they see this Winnipeg team tomorrow at 3 o'clock, Hockey Day in Canada. It's an afternoon game. If you're the Sens, you got to take advantage of this. You can't keep losing to the same team over again. It's time to earn some respect around the league and beat this team and show them that, we're not just going to be this pesky Ottawa team that kind of hangs around for a bit, then eventually you're going to break through and have your way with us. That can't be the case at all. They got to start winning these games. And if Hogberg has to go in net Saturday afternoon, I wish the guy all the best, and the Sens got to play a little better around him, but it's kind of tough for a team to have confidence when a goalie like him, like Hogberg, is back there, because he's just, he lets in weak goals. You don't know if, you almost feel like you got to block a shot from anywhere of the ice, whether they're shooting it in from center ice or right from the blue line or something like that. Just because you don't know if he's going to let one in from, 55, 60 feet out with no traffic. I really like Hogberg, though. He seems like a really nice guy. He's had some tough personal issues. Obviously, his father passed away just recently, so God rest his soul. My condolences to him. And that is a tough thing to get over. A lot harder than people think. People think, professional athletes are just machines. They can block these stuff out of their minds. When you lose a family member like that, you can't expect someone to just, carry on, no, hockey's more important. Sorry, that's just not the way it works, and nor should it be the way it works. But for Hogberg, if that is the case, he's just got to get into a mindset where going to the rink takes that away from him, and he can just play and hopefully play his best, and I wish him all the best. I really want to see this guy succeed. He's such an easy guy to cheer for, and it's been tough watching him give up these bad goals so far this season. And I saw a graph of Brady Tkachuk they showed on the broadcast, and he leads the league first in expected goals, first in shots on goals, and yet he's like 4.5 under the amount of goals that he should have by now. So that's great that he's getting these chances and stuff, but it begs the question, is he just going through an unlucky streak, or is Tkachuk maybe just not superstar caliber enough to finish on these chances? Because he's good at creating chances because he's around the net. He's not really good at carrying the puck into the zone, being like really dynamic that way. He's more, he does his best work, like I've said many times before, in that 10-foot radius or so around the net. So he creates a lot of chances for himself, which is great. But come on, Brady, buddy, you gotta bury some of these eventually, because like I said about Dadonov the other day, it's great getting chances, that's all fine and dandy, but you gotta cash in eventually, especially for a team like the Sens who are so goal-starved. And for Ottawa, it's just, they play an excellent, outstanding, dominating first period, even second period, maybe slightly in favor of the Jets. Still, shouldn't have been down 3-0 after that second. They played well enough that the score shouldn't have been that bad. And then maybe a period kind of even in the third as well. The Sens did enough to win a hockey game. This was not a 5-1 game by any stretch of the imagination. And for the Sens, I don't know, I almost feel like they could give up 3 shots on goal and still find a way to give up 5 goals. I know that's not possible, but, you guys get the gist of it. I'm just kidding around, but, you understand my frustration, I'm sure. Again, Alex Galchenyuk's under 10 minutes. I think DJ Smith, he needs to jumble up the lines, especially when a team is down, with 10 minutes to go in the third or something like that. You need to jumble up those lines a little bit. I don't know, get Tkachuk playing with some more offensive guys like he was earlier on in the season. Like I said before, last video, I like Tierney and Brown, but they're just not top line talent. I'm sorry, they're just not. Chris Tierney should probably not be your number one center. And I get why he's doing it, because there is a lot of skilled guys in this North Division, but Tierney's a good shutdown guy, so he wants to put him against those top guys like Scheifele, Matthews in Toronto, Pettersson in Vancouver, McDavid in Edmonton. But I don't know, I mean, it's not working. They're still losing games. So maybe switch it up a little bit? That could be an option. But, DJ Smith, I don't know. Maybe he's got Mike Babcock syndrome or something. He's got a stubborn bone in his body. Like I said before, I like DJ Smith. He seems like a good guy, but I don't know. It's tough to say. It was easier to say fire the coach earlier on because things were just going as bad as they possibly could. Now they're playing a lot better. Yeah, this was a stinky looking score tonight, or last night. I keep saying tonight all the time in these videos. But it was a stinky looking score last night, but you can't say, it was a stinky effort. The guys look pretty good out there for the Sens, especially in that first period. Did they drop off after that? I mean, yeah, definitely. You had to expect a team like Winnipeg was going to push at some point. But, 5-1, it's not a good look. I made a video back in November about DJ Smith and can he get the Ottawa Senators to the next level. I'll leave a link in the description below to that video. It's pretty interesting one. You guys should check that out too. You should switch up the lines though, getting back to that. I mean, find something. Get Galchenyuk maybe playing with, I don't know, Stützle. I'd like to see those two together. I think that'd be pretty cool. Maybe like a Norris in the middle, Stützle and Galchenyuk possibly on the wings. I'm not sure if Galchenyuk's right wing or left wing, but if he's right wing, get Galchenyuk up there with them. And have him snipe. Like, he had a few one-timer opportunities. He took that bad penalty on Perreault there in the second period. It was like an icing for the Sens too, and I don't know why he just clips Perreault's face. He's trying to shave his beard with his stick or something like that, but I don't know, he shouldn't have done that. But man, please don't sit him out, DJ Smith, for that. So I don't know, switch it up. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. If the Sens, how much they need to switch things up, and maybe it's time for some line juggling. And hopefully if Hogberg does play, I mean, I do hope it's Murray Saturday, that he's feeling well, but if Hogberg does play, I really hope he can turn in a solid effort and the Sens play well in front of him and they finally get a win here, because it's starting to seem like a while since they've won again, even though it was just over a week ago. But let me know all that and more in the comment section below. Please like and subscribe and share this video, and I'll talk to you guys again soon.